Well, hello everyone. I just want to welcome. I'm sorry that this is so late and unexpected. I've been busy a little bit this week with my internship, and I thought about the easiest ways to start from the basics. So today I'm gonna show you some basic layout design, some GUI design on iOS. So first step first, if you are in a Mac, you need to get Xcode. If you have installed on your computer, you go to the App Store and uh, might be here. If not, just do a quick search and make sure that you get this one. Because as you see, there are several teams there. Um, and then mine stays open because I already have it installed on my computer. You need to download that. Once you download that, you need to go to uh, developer developer.apple.com, and you will go to account. And if you don't have an account, you're gonna create one. The reason you need to create one is Xcode is gonna ask you for it. So uh, if I go back, and show you mine. By the way, this is free. Um, um, these accounts are free and to use it, and oh, I have the two-step verification, so it's gonna ask me for that. Do you know that that is me? Uh, but as you can see, there's tutorials. Your first app um, to deploy to put an app on the store, you actually need to pay a membership for a personal account, which is what most people would do. It's $100, 99 a year, where you can put on the store as many apps. So, so you see that you have the role as individual, role as organization, you know, and you can look more information about that. Download tools. Um, well, I guess you can download it from here too, but there, but here are more tools in case that you need. Let's see. There's one of them. If you are interested in working with C and C++, that you need to download because it doesn't come automatically with it. But you can look more information on that online. Um, Build your app lesson. It's they do give you a lot of information, but sometimes they're not too. Oh, they changed it quite a bit. Okay, so they got better before. They didn't have enough pictures, and they just throw you whatever they call the app. There's the different stuff. You can find documentation for different teams. Um, so APIs, Swift, videos. That's new. So here you can see. This is gonna change pretty soon because they're having an event a week from now. So whatever is new, they they posted it here, and this is more like when they started doing that training or showing you a tool. Um, so yeah, take advantage of that because all this is free. Before you have to be a pay individual member to get all this information. Um, and if you know, Apple have moved to this language, to Swift. They're still supporting Objective-C. However, Swift had changed to top priority, meaning that sometime in the future, Objective-C might not be supported anymore. They're trying to move from Objective-C to Swift, and Swift is open. They made an open source programming language, and right now you get full support on Linux, but there's no um, mobile developer built for Linux yet. So you still need a Mac. All right. So once you download Xcode, let's let's open it up. And I do have a lot of options here because these are the programs. These are the different projects that I've been working on. Um, but we're gonna use this when they create new Xcode project. Once you click that, it will greet you with this screen. You have to choose which kind of, for iOS, which kind of application um, it's gonna be. Now, granted, um, you can add this element later on. So choose the one that this is gonna be like your main screen, let's say, which I'm gonna use this one. Uh, and then click next. Here's where the Xcode account comes in. So you see where it say team. If I click none, later on when I will try to um, test the app in the virtual machine, it will tell me that I need a Apple account. So let's just name this something. Uh, well, what we should do? I'm gonna put that for now. Um, like I show you, you have the option of still using Objective-C, but if you notice the default, by default they select you Swift devices. If you are developing an app that's only gonna be used on iPhone, I recommend selecting that from the beginning. If it's only for iPad, that. If you planning to make it for both, just leave universal. Core data is the own um, database system. It's a little bit complicated. A lot of people just use a third party or they use a framework that make it easier for the developer to use core data. Um, these two options here, um, I to tell you the truth, I don't know them very well. Most of them are ones. Most of them are to test your app, uh, as you can see. And once you enter that information, you're ready to click next. In case this is empty, um, the convention even on Android is to work as a website, but you start with the com at front. So if you see, put com.search, and if you see the bundle identifier, put the name of the app here. So this port identify you in the App Store, and this is the name of the app. So everything that you put up, it will be always with this part, and then this is the only difference. We click next, and we get asked where do we want to save this project. Uh, I'm gonna put it in there. Um, if this option selected, create a Git repository on your computer. So it's fine. We can click create. We leave it a few minutes, and we present it with this screen. If you've been working with Android, this is this kind of look like and work kind of like the Android manifest. And you have more options here. So as you see, uh, as you get better, you might give some permissions here. So as you see, there's quite a few teams, but this like you say, this is the general. So the name of the app, the versions. Um, here are here's what I'm asking, what I was telling you about the Apple. So they call it signing, and let's say Xcode will create and update the app ID certificate. So since I put iTeam node, it's asking me um, to either enter my developer team information or create an account. Here is um, my deployment. So the deployment target by default is the latest. So the latest 10.3, but we can put 9. So that means that any app from iOS 9 and up, uh, this app should work on. And the reason why I'm choosing 9 is because I want to show you a new um, GUI design, user interface design that was implemented on 9, and unfortunately doesn't work with any other iOS below 9. So the devices, again, you can come here any moment and change it. Let's leave it at main. So main interface. They're talking about this file, which they call storyboard. You can have as many storyboards, but if you here is the main one. This is like once they show you that loading screen, the screen that comes right after which screen it is. And in this case, they're by default they're selecting main. Device orientation. So all these are clicked by default. Um, let's leave it like that for now. I'm gonna show you why. The status bar by default is the one that have the black color. But you can come here and change it to a light, and that will give you the waveform. Uh, you can hide the status bar, and you can request a full screen, but I'm not gonna change on that. Um, you add app icon source. So this is the icon of your app when you're in your home screen, and as you can see, there are other tools that you can work with. Let me check the let me check the string and see if someone is. Right. If you are watching it right now, you should be able to write in the chat in case you have any questions. Okay, moving along. Okay, to solve this problem, you come here to Xcode, click on Preference, uh, Accounts, and you will do you will come here. Of course, on the Apple ID, you will have nothing. So you press the plus sign, click Add Apple Account ID, and then you enter what is required, and as soon as you enter, it will create this screen for you. And here's also where would you come to add if you have a GitHub account. So you can come here and add your GitHub for your project, and that way from Xcode you can push code over there. I'm gonna show you that later on, maybe in a different video. And you have a lot of tools that you can use, the navigation, colors. So I might change to just to make it easier for presentation. Let's see, presentation might be the best color. Um, yeah, you can see that key binding. You can change the shortcuts for that. Again, source control. You you have option here, components. Um, I can download the different iOS. So even though we selected the deploy target to be 9.0, our virtual machine only have the latest iOS. So if I want to really test it on 9, I will come here and download, and it will tell you a different size. Um, and location. This is used when you using maps or you need that kind of information for your app. In this case, we're not doing that. Once you enter your information, you would have um, the option to select it. Oh, you have the ad account there too. So, and we are proof. And then here it tells you how long before that key that's auto-generated for you expire. So my expire is 6A. Support certificate. Okay, so once you make the changes that you need to make here, we can move on to launch screen. So let me show you. Let me show you the launch screen. So this is what we have. As a launch screen, we can make it smaller. Right now we are developing. We're using an iPhone 7, but if I click here, as you can see, I can select the orientation of the device, and then we have iPhone 4S, SE, which the SE has the screen size of a 5, um, 7, 7 Plus. Um, so even though it says 7, remember anything anything that is Apple, an iPhone 6 and up have this size. Anything that is iPhone 6 Plus share this size. And then for iPads, we have this too. We have the iPad Pro 9.7 and the iPad Pro's 12.9. So you might asking, where's the Air? Where's the other type of iPads? This one, the 7.97, have the same screen dimension as the Air or any other regular iPads. Uh, we don't have the Mini. I don't know why Apple decided not to give us the Mini. And then this is the normal iPad Pro. Uh, Sorry for that noise. That's the wind we're living right now. It's raining really bad over here in over San Antonio, Texas. So, um, again, you have the orientation for the iPad, and then we get this extra options. So when you are making an app for the iPad, you have extra um, screen dimensions that you can use. So this is using the full screen. This is a split view. So as you see, it changes. So um, this represents this part over here. Yeah, so what's this? So you have options to design something for this side, and then here we can have like the control menu or some other area, and the same thing for here. But what we be doing today, it's full screen for both, so the user will be seeing the same thing the same way on an iPad or phone. And I always like to use the SE as my designing when I do the phone, because this is the smallest screen that most people will have. 4S, it's on the way out. A lot of apps are not supported anymore, the newer apps. So I think in the next year, maybe this year, when they release a new iOS, um, I will not have this option anymore. Okay, so we're in the launch screen, and the launch screen is whenever you open an Apple app, is that screen that show you a logo, or is like a color before actually actual the actual app? So let's go to our friend and get an image. So let's do nights, because we're UCF. Let's represent images. Let's take a nice. Oh, that was nice. That's a nice one. Uh, let's see. This is something that is also good to know. You can get Google Images and use it on your app as long as you come here to the user right and select like uh, and you can select this one label for reuse. If you use any of this one, you actually have to modify. You have to go and change something. So let's just make label for reuse and size a large. And the reason I choose large is if this if maybe the image is gray for an iPhone SE, but if your user is using the iPhone 7 Plus, the image will be very pixelated. And right now, I don't have the time to change the different sizes. That's another thing that we will see. So let's see. Let's get this one. Let's get this one. How does this one look? No. So let's get this one. Uh, let's get a save. No, uh, I want this one save image. Um, save tutorial. Okay, so Franken Knight. Let's remember the name. Go back to our Xcode project. Oh, let me check one more thing. Okay, and here we need to. Uh, so let's change the background color. Let's do some light. So that's the background. Uh, and then what we need to do is go over here and we need to get an image container. So right now we cannot add the image. We need to put something that's gonna be displaying that. So if you type, sorry, image, this is the one that we need, the image view. And we go here, and if you see, looks this is something that Apples have really nice. As soon as you drop over here, they give you your guidelines. So uh, this is at the edge of the screen, but the default indent is 8 from each side. Uh, Here's less, but you have a different one. And the same here, you have a 20 pixels indent by default here, but you can choose a smaller one or none. So let's use the this one. Right now it's a center, and this is also something. Uh, okay, so we need to put it like where this is gonna stand. So let me show you what I mean with that. Let's just put that color. Okay. So we drop it, and although we put it like center, if we go here, uh, the reason I choose the iPhone SE because I already have the emulator running. Let's run that app. And if you will see, the image container will be, oh, the sign due in the center. Okay. Um, Sometimes um, the box will be something in the corner, it will be off screen, because right now it doesn't have like a defined position. So examples are is like if we move to the iPhone 7 Plus, you see how it's not in the center anymore. If we move to the smaller one, then or an iPad, uh, yeah. And if you notice, the size also is a big problem. So taking again our image, uh, I'm gonna make it as big as I can. Yeah, let's give it the wide the width that and it's still I need to pin to the side. So let's give it a so this is how you add the constraint. So you click this line and now it's been pinned to this area here. The same for that. Um, Although here it says 0, if I put constraint to mark, no, it's gonna change. Technically, this is at 20-ish, 20-ish from here, from the origin, and then it's putting it right here, so 20 from the origin. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Add constraint. So if all the constraints are good, the lines will be blue. If I start moving this, let's see, you will see how it changed. The orange is telling me like, hey, right now you're seeing this of this size, but on runtime, when your app is actually running it in on the device, this bottom, it will be over here. Just to let you know. That's what it's saying. So I can go, I can go over here and either update constraint or reset to suggested constraint. So that's what oh, no, that's not what I want. I want to update constraints. Oh, why? Okay, so it's not doing it. Usually you click it and it will bring it to the site that you already decided. Okay. So if we move to other devices, there we go, iPad. So let's use this. So we have an image that we have selected. If we go over here, there's no image to select, so we have to go to this place over here. And right now we're not going to work with the icon, with the app icon, so we need to click the plus and do a new image set. Now this is very important. Um, Devices like the SE and the 4S, um, will be a 1x, so the image could be very small. If you're doing the the 7, um, even 7 plus, even the plus one is 2x. That is that the image need to be twice as big as the 1x to not look pixelated, and 3x is pretty much for iPad. Um, so yeah, it's a good idea that you have the different sizes. One thing that you can do, um, and I have done this when we look at this. See, okay, so let's look at this for a moment. And this is something that Xcode have. So if we look at the button num, uh, this is a 1x, button num 2x. So you see how it's bigger. And then I think, did I make it the 3x? Yeah, button number 3x, so it's even bigger. So one cool thing that this have, oh, is that if I drop them here, if I drop them here, it was, oh, okay, I selected the wrong ones. Okay, so let's try this one again. Uh, Delete. Okay, let's try that one. So this is button num, button num. Is there some button num? Huh. So I name it sometime and I did not. Let's try it with the 0. Zero button num. I cannot believe I don't have it. Okay, so anyhow, I don't have both of the sizes, but you see how this one have the same name, but it have add 2x. So when I drag it, it automatically knows where to place them for you. And if we come over here, over here, we only have one name. We don't have like the 2x, 3x, or whatever. It automatically would choose the right size for this the device that you're using. So we go back over here. We're gonna leave that, so gonna leave that over there. And then I need the night that we got online. It's pretty big, so I can put it in both. Yeah, and pretty much, and I'm gonna put it in the 1x, and if that's not a problem. I can still go here and have it. Now, um, it looks a little bit squish. So we have this tool over here from the view content. Now it says scale to fill. If we do aspect fit, it do its best to maintain the aspect of the picture. So you can play this aspect fill, uh, center. You say right the original size, but I like the aspect fit. And if you see, if we move to every other device, the image doesn't get doesn't get squished, something. And one more thing, let's change backgrounds because that was for purposes of showing to default. And this is what I'm showing you orientation. If we have this one, the image will be in the center, but it will be much smaller, which is fine with me. And there we go. And if you can see, now we're inside of our app, which right now is nothing. So far, I have not showed you any code, and that is fine because I'm trying to show you GUI. So let's move to the main, which is the other screen that we were seeing once the launching launch screen disappear. And here we are. So um, actually, let's throw a image again, image view for our logo. Let's put it there. Uh, I'm not gonna put constraint right now. I just join the different elements. I can go and do a label. Maybe want to write something. Let's put it right below there. Let's do a text field. Okay. So let's put it somewhere there. Let's put another text field there. And let's put a button there. Okay. Okay. So we technically have built what will become pretty easy screen in less than 5 seconds, right? Um, and it looks nice right now on this device, but again, if we change to the different devices, things are not in the right place. So first things first, let's add the condition for this one. So we want it there. Uh, let's try to do a little bit big like that. I know the label. So you can chisel them, move it over here. I want the label to be in the center, and that with that little margin over there, we need to ping to put the constraint. So here is showing S8 from the top, and I know it's saying 0, but remember it's using the constraint to margin. So technically this 8 it's starting from below the battery. So from the below the battery to here it's counting 8. This margin lines on the left and on the right are considered point 0. So anything before the margin lines um, would have a negative, and the same for the bottom. But I'm not pointing that, and then I want to give it a set high. and all the measurements are working. They're good to go. So let's do. I know it's not a great image, but works for now. Unless we want to use the night again. Let's see, it's the night. Okay, so I think it's a little bit. Huh, okay, okay. So label. Let's put something right here. It's like let's type welcome just to show. Uh, as you can see, it's truncating or truncating the uh, which is the default the text, but I don't want to truncate. Again, I need to put in the mirror, and then I can do these two, select these two together, the picture and the welcome. And if we go over here, this is for our alignment. I can put it that I want it on the, I want you to yeah, center, and then I want it to be the top edge. So if I add those two, oh, wrong one. Uh, it's not top edge. Let's do bottom. No, wrong one. Okay, what I'm doing wrong. Let's do this constraint. I just want to add 8 from the top. Uh, huh. Okay, let's take out this constraint. There you go. I don't want that. I don't want that one either. And the picture, trailing, leading, height is fine, align center is fine. That was fine. Okay, so putting back this one, the welcome. We only have it aligned on the center, but right now it's floating, so it can move up or down. So what I need is to put I want an 8 from the picture. That's what it's doing, 8 from the picture. We add that, and voila. So now it doesn't matter which device, it's always gonna be 8 below from the picture. Right? Okay, moving along. Uh, Now that welcome seems to be a little bit smaller, so let's go again back to, oh, I'm sorry. Um, you most likely will be working with the attribute that's to change the look of the content. But if you need to change where it's located or the container size, you will go to the ruler, So as you can see, that's where the alignment and come, and this is nice enough that it pointers where that is happening. Uh, okay, I'm trying to cut this at 1 hour because I don't want to be too long for you guys. So if it's turning to be too long, I'm sorry, but at least let me give you. Uh, let's finish. Let's finish the text. The text I think is a little bit smaller, so we can go here at the font, and if we click it, um, we can come and select different style. I'm just gonna leave it for system right now. If we bring our own font, which I can show you later in a different video, because it takes a while, we can choose here custom. But for now, let's leave it as system. Um, and here, let me show you a few things. So ultra theme, thing, light. There's not much. Regular, which is the default. Medium. I usually like the medium, and then semi bold. ball, heavy, and black. But I usually like medium, and then let me make it. Let's put it 25. Oh, let's give it a 30. All right, right. Uh, I like that. I like that. So, as you can see, I can click it and let's see if it. Okay, so um, let's finish for the phone before I move on along and show you some things. So I want that and I want that. Let's make this ooh, stretching. Maybe not stretching. Maybe let's just make it there. There. Uh, let's make 200 just to just to make it just to make it enough. Oh, there we go. So right line's telling me like, oh, there's something wrong here. You're telling to be bigger size than it is, so we can go here and if we add the missing constraint, um, it would add all this thing to for you, so I don't want it right now. So let's get rid because I want to show you. So the only one that we have right now, the only one right now, if we go to the ruler, it should be the width, which is what I want. Now I want to make sure that it's in the middle, which now it is. So um, let's work on this one and forget about this one right now. So I need to make sure that I put the constraint on so it stays on the in the middle and all that. So again, I choose the welcome. We can go here to the line space, do vertical centers. Uh, so now it will always be here in the middle. Now we still have the problem there up and down. So just using that. Let's give it a 35. Add that one, and voila. So now this will always be 35 from the welcome and on the center and with a width of 200. Um, so you asking what about this one over here? So if we click on both of them together, I can go here to the container and do this, leading edges, trailing edges, add those two. Voila, make it um, this one would have the same width of this one. Now we're missing how far from this one we wanted. So uh, we need to go here and oh, we're gonna say 45. Let's just put 40. And if we add that, yeah. So this one now is gonna stay 40 from below from this one, and it will be as width. The width will be as big as the top one. So let's move to a bigger one. Like oh, you see everything is staying, and now we only have the bottom. So buttons. I can change the let's do that again the trailing so that will be fine. Uh, let's do a simple. Okay. Um, what else? Text color. I don't like that. Blue. Let's change it to. Actually, let's let's change it to white. Let's change it to white. I know right now you cannot see anything, but we can either go. What was that? Oh, we can go here and put a background image. Nice, right? And I can go. This is a very basic way of recreating that. Or I can go and take out the background image and add a color. So we can add that color. Also looks nice. So I'm gonna leave this one for now. Oh, what? Oh, okay. The reason it happened is because I click upside and it selected the view. So sorry for that. I didn't mean to confuse you. Let's give it a little bit of. Okay. So, and I want this to be also in the center, somewhere there. Again, I can click these two and do center, horizontal centers. That means, it's always going to be in the center. And let's give it a width of 55 and height of 30. And yes, let's put those two. So I don't need those two. It's always going to be in the center and give it a width of high. So, okay, this one, I think it was 45, right? There we go. Look, we created our first screen. We created our first screen. So if we go over here, doesn't look that well, but it's fine. I mean, no, it's not that it doesn't look good. It's just looks a little bit smaller, but it's not horrible. It's, this one looks good still, and the SE, the whole content occupy most of the screen. Now if we move on to the smaller one, yeah. um, yes, doesn't look that good. And then on an iPad, this is the a smaller iPad, so this looks too small for an iPad. And this one looks even smaller on the iPad Pro. And then we take the orientation. That's another problem. So right now I only gonna care about this orientation, and the reason why is there's a lot of work without using as stacks, which is this button over here, to do different GUI for both orientation, and the stack make it easier for you. However, um, if you're just doing that kind of screen, just a couple of text boxes, not a lot, maybe one button like a normal login screen, a stack might be a overkill, especially if you don't gonna give it that orientation. So like you're not gonna let the user to make their orientation. And there's some things that I wanted to show you. So let's go to the iPad. So the phone works fine. Um, I like how it looks on the phone, but the iPad is too small. Actually, I'm gonna give it a background color. Let's, yeah, let's give it a little bit of gray so I can see. Oh, actually, let's see how it looks on the actual virtual machine. Voila. Okay. So first of all, let's work with the image. The image is too small. So um, if you go around here, you see how that is turning, like it's getting a shadow over there. It's like getting highlighted. Click it. Now we come over here. This constraint is the one that we want for the phone, which is a smaller. So let's click the plus one, and now we get to this option. So the view of iPads are considered regular width and regular height, and that's fine. So let's add that variation. And on the regular, let's put 400, let's say. Yeah, yeah, that looks good. Uh, and that's all that we have to do for the picture. Now come this one, come this one. We're gonna come over here. So size medium works fine for the phone, but for iPads are a little small. So the same thing, add up variations, uh, and then we go over here. Let's give it a 70. Yes, that looks good. Right, that looks good. I think so. Um, One thing that we can go here is that we can give it a small 30 just in case. Wait, no, because that works for all the sizes. So let's just give it a 15, and I will show you because that comes in play with the phones, because um, and with the tablets a little bit. Okay, so we're good here. Now, remember how I made this tutorial this one? And it's because now I can click this one over here. Go to there. Let me make it. Go to this one. Select the width. Now add a new variation for the width. And instead of 200, what if I give it a 500? Is that too much? Oh, actually that works. And we take care of the next one, the one down below. So that's a win-win situation there. Um, Maybe I would like to add a height. The height, I don't think it works fine. So um, for that one, let's see. If I put a 60, yeah, actually yes. Uh, so the same thing. Let's add a height. So this 30 height where it will be for the phones, and then the one that I'm adding for regular again for the iPad. So when we are in the iPads, this is gonna be the height of that. And then we have the button, of course. We can't forget about the button. So uh, we have 55. but that doesn't look good on the iPad. So what if I give it 150? Yes, that looks good. And then the height, I think is still too small. So uh, just make the height like the thing. That's good. And then remember what we did for the font? We have the same tools over here for the button. So we can add it here. And let's do 30. That works fine. And let's see our creation here. So between both of the iPads, of course the iPad Pro is a bigger screen, have a higher density, so that's why it looks smaller, but still looks pretty good, right? Don't you think? If we go to this one, still going good. Now look at this. Whoa, still looking good. Never seen it's like extra big. All the constraints are there. And yes, that's what I wanted to show, the auto layout. This is not using stacks. Um, yeah, so we have that. We still have that problem. Uh, and as you can see, you have more options. I haven't played with a lot of this, but if you use your mail, the email app or mail app on the iPad, you will see that, for example, how this is. I think it's like they have the bar on this side. So on this side you see the list of mails, and over here you see the action mail, the content of the the email that you click. That's fine. So let's put it back in. Okay, let's see how I'm doing on time. It's an hour. I think I'm gonna call it for now. I hope that this was useful, and I will see you sometime next week. I will try to make a that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna try my best to make it an event, so you have enough time and actually go with me through the live, so you can write comments or ask me questions. Um, and this video should be safe on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. Again, if you have any question, please write me an email or write a comment, and I would answer with my best of my knowledge. So to recap today, I show you to how to create your developer Apple account, where to download the Xcode, start a project on Xcode, and show you auto layout. Next time I will jump and show you stacks. Um, and if stacks would take care of what we did here and probably gonna cut our time in half. So a lot of things are easy with stack, but with that saying, um, you have a little bit of less control to fine tuning, and you have to play with it, and it takes a little bit more memory. So if you don't need it, if you're doing a screen like I showed you today, and it's only one orientation, um, just just use auto layout. Um, we can do the landscape with auto layout, but I will have to go here and then um, remember the clicks. So now, so here we know. So when iPhones are on on landscape, the regular iPhones and the SE, they're considered compact. So I can add that. I can change the wait. Um, you can actually change the type of image displays, but I can go here and change the height. So we can give it like 50. Yeah, we can do 50, for example. We can also change instead of like occupying the whole screen, put it on the side, changing all this, but you redesigning the whole thing. With stacks makes it so much easier. That's what I wanted to show you. So again, if I move back, I keep the constraint, but now when I change orientation, the image changes, which is good. Again, can do the same thing with this. So compact, compact. Let's do 500. Too big. 400. Um, and then what else? I think space. No, I want this one. Yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah, that's what's a little bit annoying of that. Okay. I think you can go here. Hmm. Anyway, let's just change the one on the bottom. So the bottom, this one constant. Uh, compact, compact instead of be 45, let's just be 35. No, yeah, 30. Uh, I really don't know why is this acting up. I only want to affect us to, then there we go. So technically we designed a new orientation for the phone. Yeah, granted it's not the most beautiful one, but it works. We can test it. So, so let's test it to show you that it actually works. We have it there, and then if I do, uh, what is it? Apple Shift R. No? Okay, hardware rotate left. Okay, I forgot about that. Oh, there we go. There we go. So there you have it. Now, if I do the iPad orientation, um, as you see, I need to redo it just like I did for the phone. But now it becomes a little bit problematic because the iPad doesn't matter the orientation, they're always regular, regular, as you can see. So, um, a stacks view help us to deal with that. So let's call it for today. I know I tried to do that earlier. Sorry that it takes this long, but yeah, like I say, I'm gonna post it something this week to give you time on a day. Um, I will say 90% that is always gonna be on the weekend because I work during the week, and I am an hour different from you guys on the East Coast. I'm on Central Time, so I would take in consideration that maybe if I put like 12, I might have forgotten to tell you that it's 1 at East Coast. So hopefully that never happened. Don't get mad at me. And yeah, like I say, if you have any question, email, message me, and be prepared tomorrow to continue working on the GUI again, but we're gonna use stacks. And and I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna be doing to show you an app wise. I have a calculator that we can do, or we can try to rebuild what I have what we have built so far with all the members for the chat app, or um, left me a leave me an idea on the comment either on Facebook, on YouTube, or email me or message me on Facebook on private with an idea of what type of app we should do. Try to be try to think of something easy because uh, we all uh, this is like an introduction. So if you come and say like I don't know, let's do a game, that is a little bit bigger that we can do as an introduction. Okay, have a good rest of the week. See you next time.